Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. This is going to be the first video. I have attempted to do this in the past, but it hasn't really worked out too well. So I'm just going to keep it raw. I absolutely love this game. I've been playing DEADSIDE for about 2 years now. I've seen it in its entirety up until this point in patch 0.8.0, the patch that was just released with the wolves. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the absolute pro way to get a start in DEADSIDE, what to do, how to avoid wasting your time, where to go, how to select your loot pathing, and really how to get to mid game the fastest, because that's what we want, right? We want to be able to do those hard missions. We want the automatic weapons. We want the good stuff. We don't want no double barrels and no hunter vests. You know what I'm saying? So right off rip, I'm gonna loop step now. I'm just kind of looking for a starter kit, maybe a shotgun, pistol, something I can kind of attack some military AI with. A quick technique that you'll see me do right here, that's very important, is I'm tab looting. Instead of physically looting and searching spawn points, I just kind of jump into the center of the room, or in that case on top of the car, and you'll see that I just loot through my inventory. Since I've been playing DEADSIDE, you know, some of the loot spawns can be in random places or shoved, you know, behind things, or it's kind of hard to see on the ground texture. So this just makes it easier and makes looting houses twice as fast. You can see that I was able to access that can of beans and the compass through the wall there, and I'm just kind of double checking throughout the house. Always get rags, especially in the beginning. You're going to be using a lot of them. Stack, just, you know, fun fact if you don't know, rags give you 4 HP, just the base rag. Sterilized give you 15, and then the bandages give you 40 back. That's the exact amount on that. So I'm just gonna finish up looting step now, and then we will transition over to my next location. Just a quick tip, you're gonna see here coming up. So I actually set up my loot path, and the reason why this is so critical on the very beginning, while you're still in civilian territory and still starting off your run here, is because you're gonna need to get out of the situations that you're gonna put yourself in later on in these scenarios, especially showing up to different missions or to just, you know, military sites in general. There's gonna be patrols of AI who are gonna come in as you're looting up or whatever. You don't want to be sitting there with your dick in your hand on your map. So you see here, I'm gonna set up my entire loot path up to the safe zone, and then I'm gonna make my way to the next location. So unfortunately, my clipping software didn't get me getting this guy, but I want to give a quick piece of advice while I'm taking this. Regardless of what the location is, I want you guys to really do your research, you know, scout around the area, get familiar with the different areas around the map, and figure out entry points for the different locations around the map. Like, this position that I'm taking on top of this porta potty here is the position that I'm always taking when I'm taking this location, regardless of if there's a mission or not, because 9 times out of 10 there's going to be AI here, and I know that. So I, you know, came around from the backside, and now I have height along this mountain. Another quick tip not a lot of DEADSIDE players know is the game will register you being on the ground even if you're jumping. I don't really know why, but I know that it works. So for certain things that look, you know, too high for you to actually cue the animation of you jumping over, if you spam your jump, you'll actually trigger a normal jump, and then the game will read you being within the correct height to get over that wall. So that's kind of how I jumped over the barbed wire and onto the porta potty, and you can do that onto different things. And I'd recommend you getting creative with that and kind of figuring it out, because you'd never know, you know, at one point you're going to be in the same location. So, you know, I'm kind of using this car as cover, getting rid of these AI as I can. Iron sights is never fun. but I do my best. I'm just trying to attack this location because I know that there's not a mission here, so I know that I'm not going to get overwhelmed, and I can kind of, get these assault rifles periodically and kind of build my kit up over time. I am familiar with the building in the location itself, so I do know where most of the spawn locations are. And at this point, I'm familiar that I've cleared out most of the bots, but I do forget to loot over to this point. So you can see we're about 5 minutes in, and I've already got AKs with ammo and Gorka with gear as well. So it's not too bad as long as you know what you're doing, and are confident in your knowledge of the location. And like I said, really focus on those entry points. I have, many different entry points for different locations around the map. And I never go, outside of the parameters that I have set for myself in these locations, because when you do, there's a reason why you're doing what you're doing. It works. I don't recommend you try and, fix something that's not broken. So at this point, I know that I've cleared out like 99% of the scavs, and I'm gonna go ahead and disassemble things, kind of collect things as I go. I hear footsteps. I assume there's only one. I hear him outside. Little peeping Tom out the back. Not too bad. So whether or not you're in a construction zone or you're in a military zone, there are going to be things that you can disassemble into spare parts or electronic components. And the reason why this is so good is there's something called detonator farming. With one piece of electronic component and one piece of spare part, you can make one detonator, and that sells for $19.50 at the shop. This is very cheap, and the return on investment is very high. So no matter where I'm at, I kind of implement this into my combat pathing, I guess you could say, as well. There are other creators who have give advice to do different things, such as specific runs for this thing, detonator runs themselves, which can be extremely beneficial, but I just find them extremely time consuming, and I feel like I can just do it on the way, and that's kind of what I'm doing here, where I've already gotten a couple spare parts, I've already gotten a couple electronic components, and I'm gonna go ahead and head to my next location, which is another military spot, but can spawn similar things. And my final location before the safe zone is a construction area, as you'll see. So I'm going to continue to farm for detonators. So I actually skipped one of the locations that I ended up going to, which was tents. It's just the one it's like a small military camp with 2 towers. I didn't really get anything special besides this Mosin, and I'm here on my next location. Right when I was running up to it, a medium mission spawned on top of it, so I just decided to take it. I found myself lucky, and so you'll see me kind of taking this little firefight with these scavs in the tree line, kind of using this rock as cover, and then we'll go ahead and fast forward. But I just want to address, I know I'm playing on stretch res, and I know that I play in third person mostly, and I know that I play on really shitty graphics. I don't really give a fuck. If you're looking for some cinematic level experience, there are other YouTubers for that. I'm here to teach you how to be a Chad and how to succeed in the game of DEADSIDE. I'm not here to put on a movie for you. So I really don't give a shit. And if you have a problem with that, you can let me know in the comments, and I'll probably talk shit back to you. So I think stretch res on DEADSIDE doesn't even look that bad. Reminds me of the old movement speed and the Fortnite days. I don't really care. So I'm just going to kind of move up on the location. I took out the handful of scavs. Now talking about entry points, I always come from the back of this hangar on this location. I just find there to be a lot of cover right off rip. and it makes it a lot easier for me to take out the scavs in this specific area, and also to kind of, you know, have a position to defend from, which you'll see here. So I'm going to kind of just slowly move throughout the hangar. Now, when you're doing these locations, spare parts and electronic components are extremely important. I also recommend picking up any miscellaneous items, because those things stack up to 5 times, and most of them are 500 a pop. So it's not too bad if you get your inventory filled up with that kind of stuff. So you'll see I'm kind of looking around here. There's nobody in the hangar itself, so I'm just going to start to take some fights and pick some shots here, just trying to empty out this location, as you will see here. There's a couple of other tips that I can give you guys while I'm kind of taking out these bots. The first tip being reloading while against the wall. So there's a thing in DEADSIDE where if you put your weapon too close to the wall, it'll actually like shove it up against, because the game wants to be realistic. So what I definitely recommend getting used to is actually doing a 180, or sometimes even just a 90-degree turn, in order to have free space and to activate your reload animation. Because once you go back and you're clinging the wall again, you'll be still in that reloading animation, and it can kind of allow you to be under the right amount of cover. I also recommend kind of, studying, learning, noticing the behavior of the bots, because it's pretty uniform in the game right now in general. You'll see me do that kind of flip right there, so I can stick to the wall and still, be reloading. But back to AI, so they all kind of function extremely similarly, and if you learn, what those similar behavioral patterns are, within the AI, it'll make your fighting or taking missions or locations in general a lot easier. For example, when they don't have visual on you, they will move directly to the last place that they saw you, and they'll move there with urgency. So you can kind of move yourself out of cover in order to reposition the bots, by using, their behaviors to your advantage, if that makes any sense. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Look forward to more content like this. I know that there's kind of a lack of content on the game right now. So if you guys like the game as much as I do, feel free to subscribe, and you'll find yourself getting more content every couple of days. I'm going to be focusing on teaching you guys how to maximize your game, how to really sweat things out, and how to get to end game as fast as you can. In the next couple of episodes, I'm going to be breaking down specific locations. I'm going to be breaking down how to farm specific items for money, and different methods for getting money in general, just all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one.